Boom. Did you push record?
Yeah, I'm just letting you go. You're coming with a lot of energy, so I'm not wasting this. You're just...
I've got energy. I don't know where it's coming from, because I've been working 10-hour days for the last week.
Dude, I don't want to hear it. I work in a delivery van that is made of fiberglass and aluminum, and it has been 95 freaking degrees in Seattle, which is bullshit. Fuck you, global warming. And it's been like 120 pounds. I have lost 72 pounds in 3 days.
No, don't worry. It's not like I'm sitting in my office. The AC unit blew out. And so we've had 2 weeks of no AC. Good. With it being 90 degrees with like 70% humidity. So it's like over 100.
That's what you deserve.
It's like I was sitting at my desk and I had sweat like all over the top of my face. I'm like, can we go home?
My sweat. I actually ran out of sweat this week. Like I was sweating powder. I'm like, what is going on? My sweat glands have malfunctioned.
You just got like dust just coming out.
Got dust. Just like I gotta pat my head and it's like, poof. It's like the shit's going on here. Yeah, fun fact, people: if you run out of water in your body, it emits a baby powder like substance that coats your entire body. Works great for chafing though. It's weird. Yeah. Whatever. What are we talking about? Nobody wants to talk about that.
We got a show. We're doing a show.
Oh yeah, we're doing a show. Welcome everybody to episode 144 of the Geek Dad Report, the one show dedicated, formulated, specially created, and to bring you all the Seahawk news you need to know.
And the Steelers won.
No, that's not the show.
Beat the Eagles tonight.
Who cares?
So everyone that's living with me in Philadelphia can suck it.
Nobody cares about those stupid East Coast teams. Everybody cares about the Seahawks. Woo! No, this is not our NFL show. I'm just, we're just a little excited. First preseason game kicked off tonight for a lot of, I think, all teams. Well, most teams. And we're a little revved up, hence the gear. But no, this is the one show dedicated, formulated, especially created, into bringing you guys all the nerd news you need to know, all while putting a little smile on your face and possibly talking about the Seahawks from time to time.
A lot of pointing fingers, too.
I have a lot of weird pointy fingers going on tonight. All right, I'm putting them away. I'm putting the fingers away. Except for right now. I'm Brian West, the host is with the mostest.
And I'm Ryan Thomason, the other host. It's kind of not the mostest, but an adequate amount.
You're like if this is the mostest, you're like right here.
Okay. Yeah,
so you're not the leastest. The leastest is down here.
You're
the almost mostest.
So
you're the co-hostess with the almost mostest.
Okay. I can accept that.
You like that?
Yeah. That's fine. I fully have acknowledged that I am not host running the show material.
That's all right, but you are a valuable part of this show, which is going to be a good one tonight. We have a lot to talk about. We got a lot of good news. I don't know if it's good news. I don't mean good news like, woo, it's happy news. Maybe some of it's happy. You know what? It's all happy. We have good news tonight about things that you're going to want to know about.
And we're going to record some really fun episodes after the show tonight.
Yes. We have. Well, Ryan is teasing.
And we followed through. We had one of our listeners ask us to watch the most horrible movie you could probably ask two people to watch.
First of all, Ryan, do not give it away. We want people to watch it. Yes, we got...
I'm just saying, we do a lot of things for the people that have watched
We have been telling you guys from day one that if you request it, we will do it. Within reason, we'll do anything. Except for murder. Murder is off the table. Other than that, we'll do it. Well, okay, you know what? No illegal activities in general. Let's just... Anything that's not illegal, we'll do it. And you know what's not illegal? We're requesting us to review a movie that came out in 1984. Buckaroo Banzai, Across the Eighth Dimension. I think it's Across the Eighth Dimension. We're gonna... Yeah, we dug up an old school movie. It's technically not a crap or craptastic. Well, it is crap or craptastic, but I think it was like 80% on Rotten Tomatoes or something. So, but we'll dive into that after the show. We also have a review of the latest DC animated movie, not named Death of Superman. We did that last week. You guys should check it out. We're going to do that. Fun. Teaser. That's after the show. But enough of things after the show. On this show, like I said, we got a lot of news for you guys. We got some great questions from the Faithful 50. We're going to dive into Robert Redford's movie career. If that's not if that's not tantalizing, the fingers are back. If that's not tantalizing, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
And we also got a little bit of news, Ryan. We got a new subscriber this week, and on this show, we have said, well, we've said it a lot. I don't know how many times we've said it, but we said it a whole bunch of times. If you subscribe, we give you a shout out on the show. So this week, our new subscriber on YouTube is, I think this is French. Privit. Privit.
You mean private?
Is our new subscriber. What?
Private?
I don't know if he's in the military.
Well, I think private means it's actually just the word.
It's clearly
private.
French, right? That's French. Private. Private. Private.
All one word, or was there a hyphen?
Well, yeah, it's one word, but in France, they put all their words together. They have no spaces. Have you ever gotten a French keyboard? There's no space bar.
I took French in high school.
Well, so did I.
Not how it works.
Like,
I'm pretty sure it's just private, which means that we can't view their name.
Well, like we have America. It's Amer space space ka. In France, it's just one word, so they don't have spaces. So it's private. You just gotta hyphenate it.
Yes.
Wait a minute. So you're telling me this isn't private? It's private.
It is privé. I'll let you.
Well, all right. Well, whatever. We'd like to thank you, Privé, for joining our show. If you have another name that you would like to go by, you just have to send us a message and say, "Yes, I subscribed. I love you guys," and we'll give you an official shout out.
Like, "Yes, I subscribed," and then he's like eating like a big baguette.
What if his name really is Privet, and you're gonna feel real bad with your just American tone of insolence?
Yes, exactly, all those things, and even more.
You know, it's been a long week. I'm ready to go on vacation. I'm heading the fuck out of town.
When are you not heading out of town? It feels like you're on vacation like every other week.
Hey, last time I went on vacation, I came back and did the show. This week, not gonna. So, side note, everybody, next week there will be no new show. We'll have I'll schedule the 2 shows we record tonight, so you'll have some new content next week, but there will be no main show next week.
And my mother-in-law is going to be here, so I wouldn't have recorded anyway.
Unless Ryan decides to step up and put his big boy podcaster pants on and do it himself.
I will be doing a Geek Dad book report.
Ooh, what book?
I'm doing Winnie the Pooh.
Ooh.
The Disney sent us a couple of the books for the new Christopher Robin movie.
Oh, nice.
And so one of them was like a children's book, and another one was a novelization of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So I read a children's book, which is actually really good. So I'll be talking about that.
All right, cool. I look forward to it. I am also going to be doing a book report soon. I picked up 2 new books. 2 new books that I'm taking on vacation with me. I'm going to try and read both of them. The first one is...
Wait, you read Game of Thrones 1 through 5? Because I've been waiting to get those back.
No. I picked up... do you want me to do a book report on Game of Thrones? No, I picked up the new book. I don't remember the name of the author, but the guy who wrote The Martian, he's got a book called Artemis. It's a murder mystery sci-fi thriller on the moon.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be reading that, and then I'm gonna be checking out the new Dan Brown, Robert Langdon origin book. So it's the latest latest sequel in the Da Vinci Code quadrilogy. I don't know, whatever.
I'm on book 3 of The Expanse right now, and it is way different.
Really, than the show? How? Yeah. So what are they still kind of story wise going with the show?
Story wise, you know how Bull's kind of like the bad guy.
Yeah.
Like, kind of like in the book,
mm-hmm.
He is basically, so in the book, you know, Ashford, the guy that's one of the head of the OPAs.
Yeah.
He's the captain. Pa is the XO, and Bull is just the security guy.
Oh, okay.
And he's just kind of like, and he's like paralyzed from the waist down.
All right, so they've changed up a bunch of stuff. So you're saying it's worth reading the books?
Yeah, it's more. I mean, like the show made sense for how they had to do the stuff, but the book it's different. It
just kind of adds on.
It's the same story, but some of the character stuff is different. So.
All right, cool. All right, well, unless you have anything else, we should just want to dive into the news. Let's get this show started.
Yeah, let's do it.
We've spent like 10 minutes promoting other things we're going to do. Let's talk about what we're actually going to do.
Yeah, and not talk about books.
Talk about Seahawks. Want to talk about the Seahawks? Did you say Seahawks?
No, I don't want to talk about the Seahawks. It's
all right.
Like the last I want to talk about ever.
I will not talk about the Seahawks, but since we're talking about things we are going to do, we've had some, I think we talked about last week on the show, Geek Dad Reports, NFL Pro Pick'em will be coming back in September, so if you're, God, I can't get, these fingers just keep showing back up. I'm going to sit on my hands.
It's going to be, I'm going to be up by like 20 points by the end of the season, and Brian's going to be like, well, this week's worth 100 points. And
whatever.
And then all I got to do is win one game, and I'm winning again.
Well, whatever. If you're tuning in for the NFL stuff, it's coming. That's all I was trying to say. All right, moving on. It is time, Ryan, to enter the newsroom. It's not an official
NFL report unless you're wearing a sports blazer. I'm just saying.
That fact is erroneous and irrelevant. We are moving on. We have moved into the newsroom. Get out of the sports room. We're now in the hot news, the hot, steamy news of justice.
Hot, steamy. Ooh.
We're in the news segment. We got rid of Ninja News. Ninja News is for children. This is the hot, steamy newsroom of justice, is what we have now entered. And the first story we have is, what do you want to talk about first? What do we decide? Come on. What do you want to talk about first? Quit moving your eyebrow. Nobody cares about that.
Know. I'm too busy thinking about hot, steamy stuff.
Oh my god.
I think let's talk about Star Wars. Let's get
Star
Wars away.
That's the right answer. That's what I had queued up anyway. All right, everybody. So a little bit of Star Wars news this week. Not a ton, but it is big. So we've talked a lot about Jon Favreau's live action show that he's going to be doing for the Disney streaming service. It's going to be their kind of headline show to get people to subscribe to the service. Not a lot of
Jon Favreau from Pod Save America is
no
Disney movies.
No, it's Jon Favreau beans. It's Happy from Iron Man. He directed Iron Man, and he directed The Jungle Book, and he's directing The Lion King, and now he's directing, in his best thing ever already, a live-action Star Wars show that has $100 million budget for a 10-episode season.
For how many episodes?
10. That is $10 million an episode. That is more than like the first 2 seasons of Game of Thrones. That is more than most shows get. Disney is throwing the book, the checkbook at this series.
So you think that means it's going to be CGI heavy?
Because it's Star Wars. Of course, it's going to be CGI heavy.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, the rumor is, so there's a little bit of news came out. So a couple of things. One, supposedly it's going to start production in October 29th, so very soon, which would jive with what we've heard, that we're going to get the streaming service launching kind of end of next summer. They're going to want to shoot the entire first season, probably do a lot of post-production work, a lot of CGI to your point, a lot of effects added after the fact, so this would kind of lend itself to that. They probably want to have this series ready when the streaming service launches. But what we're hearing that this is actually going to be about the Mandalorians. We know it takes place 7 years after Return of the Jedi. But up until this point, we haven't heard what it's going to be about. So the rumor is, now take this with a grain of salt, Disney hasn't released anything yet or made anything official. But I believe MakingStarWars.net reported this, and they're usually pretty good with their sources. This is going to be about the Mandalorians after Return of the Jedi. So anybody who doesn't follow really like the Clone Wars, basically Mandalore has been, fraught with civil war. A lot of them joined the Empire. If you watch Rebels or the Clone Wars series, there's a lot of drama back there on the planet with the people. Everyone thinks Boba Fett is actually not a Mandalorian, which is actually kind of funny. He just wears the Mandalorian armor. But Cliff Notes version, for everybody who doesn't want me to geek out too much, basically think a bunch of people who look like Boba Fett, who all hate each other on their own planet. They have think like Indians, like how they had all the different warring nations. So you had like the Apaches and the Blackfoot and so that's kind of the way the Mandalorians were. They were very tribal. They were always fighting amongst themselves, and it led basically to the destruction of their planet. Well, destruction of a lot of their planet, which they ended up becoming bounty hunters for other people and lending their services out to everybody else, became warriors for hire. Well, they tried to patch together in Rebels and Clone Wars. They tried to unite Mandalore, and this show apparently is going to be a lot about that. So no word yet on if we could get some of the characters we saw in Rebels, like Sabine or some of the other characters, but my guess is we'll probably see some of them. I think this is a really cool idea.
Yeah, most of my knowledge of the Mandalorians are from KOTOR. So
yeah, well, you know what? That's not bad. That's a long that is way far removed from the history of what we're going to be in this show. But yeah, but still, no. I mean,
it should still be cool. I mean, they're an interesting race. So
what I like about them is they're a warrior race, but it's something new. It's something that we haven't explored in the Star Wars universe, like live action wise. I mean, I know we've had the cartoons, but
version of Vikings.
Yeah. Oh my god, I didn't even think about that. Can you imagine if it was Vikings but with Mandalorians?
Yeah. It'd just be hacking up everyone.
My lightsaber just activated, Ryan. Oh boy. Yeah. I need a new pair of trousers.
Ooh.
I'm just kidding. Everybody knows I don't wear pants when I podcast. Come on now.
People just gotta live with it.
Speaking of pants, did you see the Jimmy Kimmel clip where Mark Hamill showed up to try and sell a pair of Luke Skywalker capri pants?
I did.
Oh my god. Dude, we do not deserve Mark Hamill in our lives. He is
a treasure, and I do not want to see him leave ever.
The single greatest thing about the new Star Wars movies, honestly, in my opinion, is that it has brought Mark Hamill back into being a celebrity, back into the forefront, and we see him all the time. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, Jimmy Kimmel recently did a little clip, but we posted on our Facebook page, or you can just Google it and find it. He did a clip where he's talking about the Han Solo jacket that's going to be auctioned off for $1 million, and Mark Hamill crashes onto his show and tries to auction off a pair of orange capri pants that clearly were not in the movie, but it's really funny. Just check it out. Yeah, it made me laugh a lot.
YouTube or not on our YouTube, on our Facebook page. So
yes, it is there. Check it out. All right, that's all the Star Wars news we got.
What's that?
That's all the Star Wars news we got. What's next? What do you want to talk about next?
Let's see. We could talk about. Were we saving James Gunn for later?
No, we can talk James Gunn. So, speaking, Ryan, of James Gunn, we reported last week that Disney had fired, or two weeks ago, that Disney had fired him, and that we thought it was a stupid idea because of internet trolls are dumb.
Yes. Well, a bunch of right-wing
wackos, Pizzagate crazy people. Anyway, long story short, we thought it was a bad idea. The entire cast thought it was a bad idea of Guardians of the Galaxy. A lot of people thought it was a bad idea. David Bautista has been just going insane on Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
About how bad of an idea it is, to the point where he's saying that he will walk and no longer play Drax if they don't use his script.
He'll walk if they change the script or something like that. And
I'm sorry. I don't know if I could watch a Guardians 3 without Drax.
I don't think honestly, I don't know if I could.
The line from Infinity War about him being invisible might be the best gag in all of Marvel movies ever.
Yeah. I mean, it
makes me laugh right now thinking about it. It's so good. But, I mean, here's the deal. Well, we already said on the show. I think they were wrong to fire him. They already knew about it. He's long since apologized. I think we have to judge people on their current actions, not actions from years ago, especially if they've already tried to make amends for that. That's our official stance. So I think Disney should bring him back. Apparently, it got announced today that there are 3 other major studios who are very much trying to hire James Gunn. Why is someone mowing their lawn? Can you hear that? Somebody's mowing their lawn outside my... Why is somebody mowing my lawn?
We're mowing your lawn?
Whatever. Well, if you guys hear a lawnmower, at 8:30 at night, someone decided to mow the lawn. What?
I said if they knock on your door...
And ask for money? No.
To acknowledge that they have done it, contractually, you do owe them money.
I'm going to contractually give them the bird. How about that? Yeah. Thank you for mowing my lawn. Here's your payment. And then they slash my tires. What were we talking about? Oh, so anyway, James Gunn, apparently... I'm guessing this is his agent releasing that there's other studios who are really, really want to bring him on for major projects. One of them is Warner Brothers. No shit. Warner Brothers, I think, would scoop up James Gunn and give him the entire keys to the kingdom of the worlds of DC tomorrow.
I think he could do a good job with it, honestly. I mean, and the Marvels is apparently trying to figure out how to get him back.
Well, yeah, so that's the other thing. So this is kind of a succession. So it gets released today that there are 3 other major studios, including Warner Brothers, who want James Gunn's services. Problem is they can't officially approach him because he's technically still under contract with Disney until they settle that whole thing. Then it came out like hours later that Marvel is basically telling Disney to fuck off, that they want James Gunn back in the Marvel universe and they need to rehire him. So this seems like the first like big kind of dispute between Marvel and Disney. I mean, here's the thing. We talked about this on the show a while ago. Disney or Marvel was planning on giving James Gunn basically the keys to the Marvel kingdom. When the Russos stepped away, they said their last Marvel movie was going to be Avengers. When they stepped away, James Gunn was going to start kind of spearheading all story development for Phase 4 of the MCU. And so...
Because I think they want to try and take it on more of a Guardians of the Galaxy spin, like kind of more funnier.
Well, and you're going to bring in, and you're going to bring in the X-Men, and you're going to be bringing in Fantastic Four and Silver Surfer and Doctor Doom. Who better than to bring him in than a James Gunn type director, right?
Yeah, so I mean, he was able to bring in Guardians of the Galaxy, one of the like, I don't even know if they were a B team. They might be in like a C team in Marvel.
Oh, dude, I don't even think they were a C team. They were like a Z team.
Yeah.
I barely even knew who the Guardians of the Galaxy was until the movie came out.
Yeah, and so he literally made like one of Marvel's like least known characters into the superstar.
One of well, maybe even a lot of people's favorite. I mean, some people talk about Guardians of the Galaxy 1 as their favorite Marvel movie. Still,
people want to go pet raccoons because they're just hoping that it might be a talking raccoon that wants to murder everyone.
Yeah, so, I mean, hopefully they can figure it out and bring it back. I mean, listen, what James Gunn, those tweets he said was wrong. What he did was wrong, and it was gross. There's no way around it. But at the same time, they knew about it, and they still hired him. He apologized a long time for it, and I think we have to be able to forgive people and move on. This isn't something he's continually to actively, tell racist jokes or, well, none of his jokes were racist, but like pedophile jokes or rape jokes.
If you're gonna set that standard, you're gonna have to end up canning like half of your staff.
Well, the problem is everybody keeps bringing it up, and like I said, when I was talking about racist jokes, everybody keeps bringing up Roseanne, right? Everyone on the right wing's like, well, this is what you guys get. You've got rid of Roseanne. They are so different situations that I don't even know where to start. Like, Roseanne actively tweets racist things all the time, and then finally said something really racist and got fired for it. This is something that, I'm not going to say what's worse between racist or rape jokes or pedophile jokes. They're all bad. But this is something that was said a long time ago that was never was never hidden, was apologized for, and was informed. There's no way Disney and Marvel didn't know about it.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's just stupid.
Yeah, the whole thing's dumb. Personally, I hope they bring back James Gunn, and if they don't, I hope Warner Brothers grabs him, and I hope he runs the new Worlds of DC. I have no problem supporting the guy in his movies.
Maybe he can put DC together and make it not a big steaming pile of...
Well, I think that's other Marvel's thing is like, guys, if he leaves, he's probably going right to DC Comics, and he's going to make some really good movies. So, I don't know.
I hope so.
Whatever. Speaking of really good movies, Spider-Man has added a few people to its cast, so it's a little bit of a spoiler alert. So if you guys don't want to hear this, close your ears in 3, 2, 1. Samuel L. Jackson and Colby Smulders have both been announced as returning from the dead and going to be in Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Marvel's ruined a lot of their movies by talking about the casting choices already.
Yeah, here's what I wish would have happened.
Okay, great. Yeah, you guys are talking about how you're going to be making the next Spider-Man movie. Well, now we know that he comes back, in Avengers 4.
Here's my problem. So we already knew, and this, I guess, if you haven't seen Infinity War, I don't know what rock you've been living under, but we're going to be talking a little bit about it for a second. At the end when they snap and they kill everybody, well, half the cast. We all knew that Spider-Man was coming back. We all knew that Black Panther was coming back. But outside of a few main characters, probably most of the Guardians of the Galaxy, but outside of those people, we have no idea who's actually coming back and what's permanent and what's not permanent, right? Mm-hmm. But every time they give us this, when you see more and more minor characters starring in these other movies, it almost gives away what's going to happen. You almost get to the point where you realize, like, all right, anybody who is snapped is coming back, right? And I think it takes away some of the, the drama for Infinity Wars 4. I wish it's coming out next year. I wish they could keep this under lid and just not release any of this information.
Well, it's just I don't understand what the point is. It's so far in advance that what are you trying to drum up? I mean,
we're not getting a Spider-Man movie till what, 2020? I mean, we might get it next year, but I don't think so. I think
what kind of excitement do you need to start drumming up 2 years before you even start production on the movie?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Whatever. Anyway, I wish they wouldn't do it. I'm kind of tired of things getting spoiled, but whatever. It is what it is. Well, let's see here. Sticking in the Marvel universe, here's what we'll do. We got more Marvel news. We got some DC news, and then we got kind of a potpourri. Okay. We'll get to that. So, speaking of Marvel news that we're not excited about, Kraven the Hunter movie is in the works at Sony. It won't star Spider-Man, probably won't even star Venom, and it's an origin story about Kraven the Hunter.
Yay?
No. If anybody knows Kraven is a great Spider-Man villain because he wants to hunt the ultimate prey. He's basically just like a super hunter. That's all he is. He hunts everything, and he's hunted everyone, and he's realized the last thing on Earth is that he has to hunt Spider-Man. And so there's a great Kraven the Last Hunt. There's like a 6-issue Spider-Man run. It's amazing. But this isn't going to have Spider-Man in it.
That's just dumb.
I just don't want to see these movies, Sony. I don't want to see them. Venom looks dumb. I know a lot of people are excited, and I want it to be good, and hopefully it is good, fingers crossed, but it's going to be bad. Let's be real. Let's be honest.
Unless they make Venom rated R, I might get...
And they've already said it's not going to be rated R because if it's well received, if it could cross over eventually with Tom Holland's Spider-Man, maybe.
Yeah. So we're gonna risk just enough to try and get it to that line, but then we won't cross it.
I give up. When's the last time Sony made something good?
Never, honestly. Spider-Man 2 with Dr. Octopus.
Oh, the original Spider-Man. I was gonna say Amazing Spider-Man 2 was crap. We went and saw it together. We were so excited, and it was dumb.
I remember. Yeah, that was the Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah. And it was, spoiler alert, not amazing.
Not amazing. Rhino was in it for like 2 seconds.
Should have been called the less than amazing Spider-Man.
Yes.
Well, something that is amazing is Daredevil season 3 is filming now. We figured we were going to get it sometime next year because we're already got Jessica Jones season 2, which I ain't watched yet. Luke Cage season 2, which I'm trying to watch. We're getting Iron Fist season 2 later this year. So we just assumed that Daredevil season 3 would be next year. Well, you know what they say about when you assume, Ryan?
What do they say, Brian?
They say that you're wrong and Daredevil season 3 is coming this year. 2018, we're going to get Daredevil season 3.
And got Bullseye in it this time, right?
Bullseye has been cast. Let me see if I can find the actor. You know what? It's not important. But yes, Bullseye has been cast. It's somebody you've never heard of playing the role. Who gives a shit? It's Bullseye. I can't wait.
Yes. Now does he have the bullseye that's on his head?
Yes. He wears the black costume. I don't know what he'll wear in this show, but in the comic books, he's got the all black costume. It's got like a little bit of white on his head and white on the wrist, and it's got like a white bullseye on his forehead.
Okay.
It looks awesome. All I know is of all the shows, Daredevil has been the one that they have gotten. Netflix has gotten the most right. So I'm very excited for season 3.
Yeah, Daredevil has hit on every level for me. So
yeah, I don't think there's been, there's always that little bit of a drag right in the middle of every season on Netflix because 13 episodes.
I said that every show practically.
Yeah, definitely. But other than that, everything's been perfect. And Daredevil, especially when they introduced Punisher, those first like 5 episodes of season 2 might be some of the best shit I've ever seen on in the superhero show. It's so good, so good. It's so good. Frank Castle is so good in there. Yes. All right. I think that's all the Marvel news we got. All right, so jumping, like I promised, to DC news. The Flash apparently has leaked that a promo image of the... Well, not a promo. What do you call it when they...
Concept art?
Concept art. Thank you. Can't fucking think tonight. Piece of concept art for the next season of The Flash has kind of leaked out on the internet. And it's basically the comic book version of the Flash's suit. And it looks freaking amazing.
Yeah, it looks rad. And they're going to have it come out of the ring?
Yes! I can't wait. You know what's funny? Did you notice, though, in the trailer when they had it come out of the ring, they were real careful to not show that suit? It's got to be the Flash suit, right?
Yeah, it's got to be. I mean, I don't know what else it would.
But the concept art is amazing. I really hope they go with this. So I also did. I forgot to put it on our Facebook page, but I finally saw the trailer, the teaser trailer for the upcoming season of Arrow. And honestly, I'm going to say it actually looks pretty good. If you know, Arrow's been kind of hit and miss the last couple of years, but this looks like they might actually be back on board. It definitely looks like they're going to do the Supermax storyline for Arrow. So if you're not familiar with that, you should check it out. It's really good. But
I gave up on all the other shows except for when they do their crossover episode.
Well, whatever. Maybe you should jump back in. Or maybe you shouldn't. One show you should definitely be watching, though, which is not part of the Arrowverse, but it's a really good DC show. Krypton. Krypton Season 1 ended on a high note, and it was really good. And Season 2 looks like it's even going to build upon that. They've announced that Lobo is coming into Season 2 of Krypton. Fingers.
He's like the intergalactic bad guy, right?
He's like Deadpool, but way more badass.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, he's an intergalactic super anti-hero.
He just kind of does whatever the hell he wants.
He's pretty much unkillable. It's like Daredevil. It's like Deadpool, Wolverine, kind of thrown into one body with Superman-level powers. And he rides like a space Harley.
Then he's like all silver.
Yeah, he's like silver. He looks pretty awesome. He kind of always kind of like Spawn a little bit too. And his best friend is a space dolphin.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in our Aquaman review. But yeah, it's actually I'm pretty excited. It's interesting that they're going to introduce Lobo into Krypton. I mean, the setting's there. It's in space. There's a lot of intergalactic stuff already. They already introduced Brainiac, Zod, a lot of other characters. But it's a good show, and I'm really excited. We're going to get our first live action version of Lobo. So Season 2, Krypton.
I still gotta finish the last 2 episodes of Krypton.
Oh my god, the final episode is so good. Ryan, you have to watch it, dude.
Watch it.
Alright, let's see. Little bit of side news. Jason Todd got a new costume. I don't know if this is because the new Titans show's coming out and Jason Todd's going to be in it. I have a sneaking suspicion that that's what's going on here. But Jason Todd's, if you don't know who that is, he was the second Robin who died at the hands of Joker and then was brought back in the Lazarus Pit and became the Red Hood and murdered a lot of people. Basically became the DC's version of the Punisher, basically.
We just got the red. But this costume was like all red, wasn't it?
The Red Hood was like had a trench coat kind of, and I don't know. It's pretty cool. This new costume is not cool. He's wearing remember that show the Warriors, like back in the 80s, a movie?
Yeah.
He's dressed like one of those guys, but with like a red hood and like a ninja mask, and one of his weapons is a crowbar that he has in like a sheath.
That's what that was. I was trying to figure out. Like I saw it and I'm like, what the fuck is that on his shoulder?
It looks terrible. Whatever. I think it's a mistake, but hey, what do I know? I don't make comic books for a living. Yeah. Apparently, Supergirl. Something. What?
I said, we'll wait until we see it.
Oh, I will see it. Something that we are excited about, we don't need to wait to see if we're excited about, is apparently Supergirl. DC has got a Supergirl movie in the works. They have the writer from 22 Jump Street, not Lord or Miller, but whoever else helped him write it. He's working on it right now. So it's in development. Right now, DC has, I think, 23 projects in development. So don't get your hopes up, but
we'll see how well it ties into.
Oh yeah, and warning, some asshole / genius on the internet tied a story. They put it on the Hollywood Reporter that Henry Cavill was officially out as Superman, and that their Man of Steel sequel had been scrapped indefinitely. And
I did fall for that.
And same here. And I clicked on the link. I'm like, no! I click on the link, and it's fucking Rick. And it's a YouTube video of Rickroll. But they Rickrolled me. God damn it! Never gonna give you up. I was like, well played.
I rage clicked too, and
I was like,
damn you fuckers, you guys.
Well played, internet. Well played.
Have you heard that, like, the thing now is, like, how a lot of people make their money just by writing the headlines that are trying to get people to rage click them?
Yeah, clickbait headlines, dude. Headliners make a lot of cash.
Now, it's just like your headline is a rage-inducing headline that gets people to click. And that's how
or share. Well, yeah, because people don't read anything. They just read the headlines now. Anyway, well, something that doesn't make us rage-inducing. Is that even a sentence? Something that doesn't induce rage in us is CW's Batwoman has officially been cast. Ruby Rose, better known for Orange is the New Black and other things, has been cast as Batwoman.
She looks like she exactly would be a Batwoman, honestly.
Yeah, she has a very angular face. Now, let's see, what else was she in? Oh, she was in John Wick 2. She was like a female assassin. She's very slight. Batwoman in the comics is taller and seems like a little bit of a bigger girl, So, I mean, I guess that doesn't really matter. The one thing that's kind of strange to me is that she is covered in tattoos. So I'm wondering if they're going to... I don't think Batwoman is, so it'd be interesting to see if they... if they manage to, remove those CGI-wise, or if they're going to make her part of her character in this. I don't know.
I think it would make sense for a modern lesbian, person.
Would it be tattooed? I don't know. I mean, I don't really care either way. I do think it's really cool they did cast an LGBT actor to play an LGBT character. So, representation. But no, she definitely looks the role, and she's a good actress. And if you've seen John Wick 2, she can physically do the fight choreography and stuff. She flows very smoothly. Her action scenes are really good with John Wick, so I think she'll be very convincing as a superhero in Batwoman.
We look forward to seeing her wear the cowl.
Yes, I do too. I think it'll be awesome. All right, what else we got? All right, I think that's all the major news we have. Oh, wait a minute, one more. Birds of Prey has found its villain. They're going to be doing, where'd he go? Black Mask is going to be the villain in Birds of Prey. So that's kind of cool. It's a villain we haven't seen yet in any of the Bat-centric or Gotham-centric stories or DC Universe in general. So good villain, very angry. Are you doing the Bat cowl?
Yes. I'm Batman.
Oh, God. All right, moving on. Potpourri, Power Rangers sequel is reportedly in early development. This is not a new reboot. This is an actual sequel to 2017 movie that was pretty good. We'll see what happens with it. Hasbro has bought the rights, so they're anxious to start making movies. James Bond producers are apparently eyeing Idris Elba to be the next Bond.
Damn time. I mean, they needed to do that 5 years ago.
This will make headlines because he is a person of color. He will be the first person of color Bond. Who gives a shit? If anybody was made to play James Bond, it was Idris Elba.
Yeah, and the internet's going to lose their shit.
His smooth English voice is going to be glorious. When he's like, shaken, not stirred. Just slays all the ladies. Actually, the new Bonds don't really slay all the ladies. They pretty much just slay everybody, like dead.
Sounds good.
All right. In the meantime, if you'd like to watch a movie that is like James Bond but doesn't involve James Bond, check out Mission Impossible Fallout. And if you're not sure if you should check out our review that we did on Ryan Spoils the Movies.
And
it's
don't
great.
forget to also check out our Mission Impossible rankings.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
We ranked all the Mission Impossible movies.
Speaking of things that we love and is awesome, Master Chief is going to be making his It's not debut. He was in other movies. You know what? The Showtime series that we talked about last week that was going forward of Halo is apparently going to star Master Chief. Master Chief will, in fact, be the main title character in the Halo series, which goddamn makes sense.
If it didn't have Master Chief in it, I wouldn't even be interested.
Well, honestly. This is why I'm excited, because every other property that has Halo does not have Master Chief in it. I don't want to watch about somebody else. I don't want to watch Luke Cage on some other planet. I want to see Master Chief fucking shit up.
Yeah.
Or else don't make Halo.
Which gun's the best gun in Halo?
Shoddy Snipes. That's the best 2-gun combo ever. Like Halo 1 or like Halo 5?
I'll go with Halo 1.
The best gun in Halo 1 is the shotgun.
Needles, the one that shot all the needles and they just stick on everyone.
Okay, the Needler's pretty good. I still think if I'm rocking Halo 1 and I have one gun, I'm probably going shotgun.
Yes.
Or Halo 1 pistol. Halo 1 pistol with the zoom is unbelievable.
The best thing was player versus player and then running somebody down with a Warhawk. That was always the best part.
Well, if you had a good driver, you could get... I was always a good driver, so I get a good gunner. And you could just... What you do is if you hit it right, you could jump it and go sideways. And they could spin and they just couldn't hit you because your whole Warthog's flying sideways. Yeah. I played a lot of Halo, everybody.
We would like, all four of us would get all the sticky grenades. And we would just... trying to throw as many as we could at the same time and just watch it just spin. And
well, you know what was great about sticky grenades is you could actually, in the first game, you could stick a friend and then that friend could run into a room and you'd get credit for anybody he killed.
Yeah.
So you could make suicide bombers in Halo. It was amazing. All right, moving on. Let's see here. Patrick Stewart has been confirmed that he is going to be headlining a brand new CBS Star Trek show as Jean-Luc Picard. No word on what the show is yet, but who gives a damn? Picard's back.
You know, I want to get excited, but then I remember that I have to either pirate all the episodes or I need to get CBS access. So
real quick, favorite Starship captain, Kirk or Picard? Because Picard. Everybody else is erroneous. They don't count.
Captain Sisko. But
you're fired. You're fired.
Captain Janeway was pretty good too.
You're fired. The only acceptable answer is Captain Kirk. Everybody knows this. All right.
I just know it from the movies, Brian.
Speaking of things that are unacceptable, the Sandlot is getting a prequel. And that's all I got to say about that.
That's all that needs to be said about that.
Stupid. Speaking of things that are stupid, Disney's thinking about a Pirates of the Caribbean 6.
I stopped watching after 3.
Listen, the last one was pretty good, but it worked great as a finale. Like, it's perfect. It ends perfectly. Be like Elsa, Disney, and let that shit go. Let it go.
They can't.
Of course they can't. It's money, money, money. All right, and then lastly, what do we got here? We got Seth Rogen is remaking American Gladiators.
You know, I'm actually happy for that because I really loved American Gladiators when I was a kid.
Who didn't? It was a great show.
And my kids and I have watched some of the rerun, like on like Hulu. They have a whole bunch of the old episodes, and we watched like 4 or 5 of them in a row. My kids were into it. They're like, you know, the joust and the cannonball.
Listen, I don't care about any of that crap. What I care about is what would your American Gladiator name be, Ryan?
I always liked Nitro. I thought he was pretty cool.
Well, I mean, like if you had to make your own name.
My name? I would have been the Big Bruiser.
All right, you know what? I'll allow it.
It's a good one. It would have applied very well in American Gladiator. All I needed to be was 270 pounds, and I need to gain all muscle.
I would have been known as the Sex Destroyer. Yes.
No, they should do the American Gladiator.
Hairy man meat. How about, I like Sex Destroyer. Hairy man meat sounds really gross.
They need to do Seth Rogen needs to do American Gladiator, but everybody's got like dad bods.
And they all have real like dad sexy names.
The hairy man scratcher.
They call me the banana hammock.
My wife calls me.
What? What does your wife call you, Ryan?
It's not a Dutch Hut.
The Dutch Hut. There's your American Gladiator name. You'd be the Dutch Hutch. The Dutch Hutch and the Sex Destroyer take on. I like this version of American Gladiators.
I'm going to open you up because I'm the Dutch Hutch.
What is a Sex Destroyer? That doesn't even make sense. Shut up! It makes perfect sense. Woo! I'm the Sex Destroyer. You destroy sex?
But are all the events going to be the same? They got to be events where we can just like... Remember how they had the one where they shot people with tennis balls?
Yeah.
But we don't want to have to stand. We need you got to sit down and just shoot a bunch of people with
We're real lazy. We just throw remote controls at you.
Yeah. Yeah, we won't do any of the actual physical stuff, but
we send our kids to fight you. That's what we do. Attack children.
Way more energy.
All right.
We'll just stand at the top of the wall and just be
well, let us know what you think of the Dutch Hutch and the Sex Destroyer, and we would like to know what you guys would choose as your American Gladiator names.
Yeah, and if you think everyone in the American Gladiator should have a dad bod just for the new age.
Great, we're going to get a call from Seth Rogen. Hey, I heard you guys want to be on my show. We're like, all right, man. Can we commentate? But only if I get a shirt that says Sex Destroyer. And we occasionally get to rip our shirts off and run in and fight somebody. All right, and last but not least, our final story of the night is Robert Redford, after a career of 10,000 years, is finally hanging up the old silver chaps and is no longer gonna act. He's retiring from acting.
Yeah, I'm kind of sad because I really like Robert Redford in his movies. I mean, he's done so many movies.
He has done. You know what? How about we're doing good on time? How about we take a few minutes and we talk about our favorite Robert Redford movie, since there's 10 million to choose from.
Yeah, I mean we were talking about it before the show, and
why are you telling people that? I said it like it was spontaneous, and I just made it up.
Well, we did just make it up.
Listen, we cannot tell people that we are a bootleg comedy show that we make it up on the fly if they actually know we talk about this beforehand.
Nobody
because the way the show is now, people are like, okay, they literally just made it up, so it's supposed to be bad. But now people know we practice. There's going to be no excuse for how bad we are.
Practice anything. We just had a random conversation about it. We didn't even talk about anything. I mean, we didn't talk about...
Let's try this again. So, Robert Redford, I just saw that he retired, Ryan. What was your favorite Robert Redford movie?
Mine?
Yeah.
Well...
And you better not fucking take mine.
Between...
I'll punch you.
The Natural...
Oh, so good.
But I really liked The Natural. And then Spy Game.
Fuck you! You took both of mine, you son of a bitch. There's 172 Robert Redford movies, and you choose the two that are my two favorites.
He's done so many movies.
I'm done.
I never really watched old ones. I mean, don't be such a baby. The Natural, I didn't think that was going to be...
I'm out of here.
Oh, I didn't know that Spy Game was going to be one of your picks, but that was a damn good pick. You know what? I'm going to change it. I'm going to go from Spy Game to The Last Castle.
All right,
because I did actually buy that one.
That was my other favorite one. Oh, God.
Military prison. And they're
The Last Castle was amazing. Against,
Tony Soprano.
Yeah. Yeah. Great movie. But yes, The Natural. Not only one of Robert Redford's finest movies. One of the finest sports movies ever made.
Right up there with 51.
It's better than 51. 51's a good movie, but The Natural, come on, man. The Natural's like a documentary. Or 51's like a documentary. The Natural's like a feel-good, like... He's basically a superhero. He's got an origin story. He's got a tree that's hit by lightning. He has his own specialized weapon, his bat. He rises, he's brought down, and then he has to rise again. Superhero story.
Yes. Very much so.
It's Spy Game. If you haven't seen Spy Game, you know, Robert Redford did a bunch of spy movies. He did Sneakers. That was a very good movie.
Yes, he was in...
I don't know if Sneakers was a spy. Were they like thieves? Were they spies? I don't remember. That was like 92.
Quiz Show.
That was a good movie.
That was a good one.
Indecent Proposal. That's a great movie.
Oh, yeah, that was... I remember my mom wouldn't let me watch that. She's like, no, you can't watch that. A Bridge Too Far. That's one of his...
Real quick, though, let's go back to Indecent Proposal. When they have sex on a bed of money, how, like, disgusting is that? You're like, ugh. How unhygienic is that? Let's roll around naked in this money and do it. You could get a paper cut and die from the infection.
I knew that happened to somebody once.
They had sex on a bed of money and got a paper cut and died from an infection?
Yes. It was very tragic.
Oh my God. How about The Winter Soldier? Let's talk about The Winter Soldier. Robert Redford's greatest performance.
He made that whole movie.
Why do I keep doing the fucking fingers in that?
The Winter Soldier was unwatchable.
You are fucking unwatchable. The show's over. Canceled. This is the end of the Geek Dad Report. Ryan has been terminated.
You smell like...
I'm calling a hitman. I need Ryan killed right now. Now.
Do you want me to hit, like, the hang up button? Was that my cue? The hang up?
Whatever. You know what? This segment's over. Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid. Like them, you've just went down in flames. Congratulations. Moving on. I was going to tell people... I was going to say, let us know your favorite Robert Redford movie, but you know what? I don't fucking care what your favorite Robert Redford movie is anymore.
My favorite Robert Redford movie was Basketball.
Ryan will just say that it was his favorite movie after you're like, that's my favorite. And Ryan will be like, no, it was my favorite movie. And then ruin the segment.
You know, if you're that upset about it, Brian, I will gladly not do anything about it, but I will pretend to show remorse until you get a little
All I'm saying is Brad Pitt in Spy Games is goddamn amazing. And that is a fantastic movie that everyone should watch. And I was going to bring it up and you were supposed to be like, oh, I totally forgot about that movie. Instead you were like, oh yeah, that's right, Brian mentioned Spy Game in the pre-notes that we supposedly didn't have. And you were like, you fucking led with it. You didn't even my favorite Robert Redford movie, Brian's fucking ace in the hole, Spy Game. You know what's better? You know what you people should do instead of watching you be a dickhole? Watch Spy Game. That's what they should do. Moving on. The segment's over. Faithful 50. Do we have questions? What's going on? What are you doing? Are you even awake?
Huh? Yes.
Damn it.
Are you done?
Yes. I'm done.
Okay. I love you, Brian. Just so you know.
I want you to know that if you were in a camp and I had to rescue you, I would do it like you did in Spy Game.
So, Brian, what else do we have to talk about on
All right, well, as always, we have our listener questions segment. We take questions from you guys every single week. We call it From the Faithful 50, which is you. Ryan puts up a post. You guys come with questions. Ryan usually whines that nobody asks him any questions, and then we answer them on the show.
Yes.
Do we have any tonight, Ryan?
We did have some great questions for tonight. I did want to do one that I didn't catch from last week that was sent by Jeff, and it's a really good one. How do you make your campfire marshmallows?
I buy them in a bag.
No. Like, how do you when you're roasting it, Brian, over the fire?
Well, you need to be more specific, Ryan.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you still just a little bitter about the Spy Games thing?
You know, if you watch Spy Game, there's a really good way to roast marshmallows in that movie. Why don't you just tell everybody that part?
Oh, I'm sorry, but how do you roast marshmallows over the fire, Brian?
The old-fashioned way on a fucking stick? I just go... Me, personally, I don't like to light it on fire. I know some people get real, like... They don't like to take their time, so they just, like, melt this bitch, stick it on some... No, not me. I like to slowly keep it up. I like to keep it high and slowly rotate it so it turns brown, and then it swells right at the end. It becomes engorged and about falls off the stick.
I'll just stick it in there until it starts to flame up, blow it out, done.
I feel real bad for your wife.
That's how you... I don't know what that has to do about my wife, but...
Well, I'm just saying, you like to stick it in there real quick while it's on fire, pull it out real fast, and boom, you're done.
I'm talking about marshmallows, Brian. I'm not talking about anything.
Aren't we all, Ryan? Aren't we all?
That's what she said?
All right, thanks, Jeff, for your question. Moving on.
Moving on. We have Chris. He wants to know.
What, Evil Chris or Good Chris?
This is Good Chris.
All right, Good Chris.
He wants to know, isn't it about time for a superhero movie that focuses on insurance claims? He's serious about how much money does it take to rebuild a huge city after the destruction to save mankind? How much do medical claims come out to? These are serious questions that he has. Well, we will give you a very serious answer.
They've kind of already hinted at that. I mean, Spider-Man... Batman's character in that, Michael Keaton, they were rebuilding. They were contracted to rebuild the city. I mean, they didn't really talk about insurance, but they talked about construction crews and stuff like that. In the Justice League cartoons, the Justice League are always helping, and in the comic books, they're always helping to rebuild the city after somebody destroys it. I mean, you have Flash and Superman who could probably rebuild an entire city in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, but the insurance though on just to like live in a city like that probably like triple.
I'm pretty sure it's like so. Like for instance, I live by a volcano, so I cannot get volcano insurance. I'm sure if you live in Metropolis, you cannot get Superman wrecking your building insurance. It just you get your FML, your FEMA trailer, and you hope to get a check from the government in 10 years.
Yeah, there's really high chance that you're living on the 7th floor and your 2nd and 3rd floors are going to get blown out at some point, and your building might collapse on itself.
It depends on what movie you're in. If you're in Man of Steel, you just were all dead, so there was no insurance claims.
Yeah.
Because everybody died.
Yeah. And everyone.
And you know what? Fuck the haters. I'm okay with that. Sometimes a whole city needs to burn. That's just what happens to happen.
Wow.
Metaphorically, not really, because I'm not into that weird shit. I'm talking about fictional cities, like Metropolis.
That's a pretty hard stance that you have there, Brian.
Well, you know what? As a fan of the DC universe, sometimes you have to have harsh stances.
Well, thank you, Chris, for that question.
Thank you.
And we had another question from Jeff. This is his question for this week. What is your idea of the perfect hot dog?
Wow, you have a lot of questions that could be taken as sexual innuendos. I'm doing a lot of these and a lot of these tonight. I'm putting the fingers away.
My perfect hot dog.
Oh, Jesus.
Is you take a big Polish sausage and
go on. Do continue, Ryan. Do you grip it with two hands?
And you just slide it right in between the bun.
Oh my God. Jesus.
And then you slather on a whole bunch of chili.
Ugh.
Some onions.
What's going on here?
So yeah, there's no innuendo anymore.
I'm kind of a plain Jane hot dog guy. I like, you give me a big foot long, put it in a big hot bun, ketchup, sprinkle some cheese on it. That's all I need. Min. Maybe a little mayo.
I like chili sauce and some fresh cut onions.
Well, I like a good chili dog. Problem is you can't really eat a chili dog without like a fork.
Yeah, but that's just messy. You gotta have like a messy one.
I think the best kind of hot dog is wrapped in a pancake.
Isn't that pigs in a blanket?
Sure.
Essentially.
Whatever.
That's
kind of hot dog is the kind you eat.
Thank you, Jeff. That's it for the questions from the Faithful 50 on our page. Brian, did you have any people that responded to your...
Oh, let me look. I'm looking.
Your shares?
I'm looking.
The quotation.
Who win from David? He wants to know who wins the MVP in the NFL this year.
Who's going to win? Ooh. It's going to be whoever it is that knocks Tom Brady.
Russell Wilson. It's finally going to be his year. MVP. Put that in your fucking pipe and smoke it, Ryan.
Didn't you guys lose like even more?
Shut up. We're not talking about any of that stuff.
And like your whole defense?
No. We lost the old parts of the defense. Sometimes you have to cut out the rotten flesh to save the limb.
Richard Sherman's going to be celebrating at the top of the NFC West, wearing his 49.
Russell Wilson, MVP. MVP.
I think the MVP is going to be whoever it is that puts Tom Brady into retirement. Everyone's going to give that guy a standing ovation.
I don't know. They'll try and give it to somebody from Dallas because that's what they do every year. It's either going to be, yeah, whatever. I don't even care. You know what? I don't care anymore. Whatever.
So are you doing fantasy football this year?
No, I took a year off from fantasy. I boycotted.
Okay, that's right. You're taking a year off.
I told the story last week. I was yelling at my wife and children because a defensive lineman got a tackle in a meaningless game. I decided I need to take a year off.
It's life, man. Fantasy football.
Well, and honestly, I want to do more stuff. You know, we and you both committed to kind of doing more stuff with the show and doing other things. And you only have so much time in the day. And playing fantasy football can be very time consuming if you give a shit.
Yes.
So,
especially if you're trying to win.
That does not mean I will not be watching the NFL this year, because I definitely will be, but we'll see. All right.
Yeah.
All right, I think that's all the questions we got. Thank you, everybody, for the questions. Thank you, everybody who submitted a question. We really appreciate it. And you guys rock. Woo! All right.
We love you.
What are the recommendations? I don't have anything to recommend. Well, actually, I do have something to recommend. Do you have anything to recommend?
I've been rewatching all the Viking episodes.
Ooh.
Just to kind of get ready for the next season. I started season 1. I'm all the way back up to season 5. I'm almost caught up again. So it's just, I've been doing it for like the last couple of weeks, but It's been fun. There's nothing like sitting there working and all you can hear is
there's like a lot of death in Vikings.
Yeah. A lot of screaming and blood.
Nice.
That's my recommendation. Go watch Vikings again. It's all on Amazon Prime.
Sweet. I've been checking out a new show on Hulu called Castle Rock.
Is that... Which one is that?
That is the brand new one that's based on the Stephen King universe.
Ooh.
It takes place mostly in it takes place in the town of Castle Rock. One of the main set pieces is the Shawshank Prison. And you should watch it. It is creepy as fuck. But it's not like horror. I mean, it's horror. It's like a perfect Stephen King novel. It's very creepy without being like American Horror Story.
Okay, I can do that.
Dude, it's good, man. It's really, really good. I don't really want to give too much away for anybody who wants to watch it. I think they're on episode 5. I think it's going to be a 10-episode season. But it basically centers around this kid who's found in a cage at Shawshank Redemption who may or may not be the devil. And, it's really... And a lot of creepy shit happens. And there's people who can read people's minds. There's rabid dogs running loose. They may or may not be St. Bernards. It's good. It's a good show. I would... Castle Rock right now on Hulu. Check it out. I'm very much enjoying it. I cannot watch it before I go to bed because it gives me bad dreams.
I'll have to watch it at work or something.
Yeah, it's good. Check it out. Castle Rock airing right now on Hulu. First 5 episodes are available.
Sweet.
All right. Well, that's the show, everybody. Me and Ryan got to go and record a few bonus episodes here, some movie reviews. But before we leave, Ryan would love to tell you where you can find us if you don't already know.
I would love to tell you guys that you can find us on YouTube at the Geek Dad Report, Facebook at the Geek Dad Report, and Twitter at the Geek Dad Report. Brian is BrianWest53 on Twitter, and I am Big Bruiser. You can also find us on podhell.com, along with the Utah Outcasts.
Yay, we like them. Woo!
And then you can also listen to us audio on iTunes, where we really would love you to leave a subscribe for one, and then leave a good 5-star rating. We're like this close to having all of our ratings released. We just need more people to leave a 5-star rating. I would say a lower number, but I'm not going to because we need 5. All 5. And make sure you tell your friends. If you listen to an episode and you like it, share it. If you have a friend that had a question and you think that they might like listening to us talk about it, tell them about it. Just tell your friends.
10 friends. We just need you to tell 10 people. 10. That's all we ask. Not the 1, not 2, but 10.
Yes. I'm pretty sure everyone there knows 10 people that would love to listen to our show.
You know who knows 10 people? Previt. Previt is going to tell 10 people about our show.
Yes. So do all those things. Like, subscribe.
Yes, do all those things.
Yes. And make sure you just leave comments because we love talking to people about everything. So if you see something that you on our Facebook page or our Twitter, just respond and we'll respond back because we
have nothing better to do. Ever. So, yeah, that's right. And we will. And above all, everybody, thank you for watching. And stay awesome.
Stay nerdy also.
Until next time, don't forget, no show next week, but we'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
Yes.
Later.
And keep an eye out for a whole bunch of review stuff.
Keep an eye out. All right, everybody. Like I said, stay awesome.
Bye.